We are back with your Community Focus on this Monday. Every other week at 4, we talk live with the director of the Rhode Island Department of Labor and Training, Matt Weldon. He joins us live via Zoom today. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me back.
Let's start by jumping in with some of the numbers. Since we last spoke, there was a round of certifications without those additional federal programs that we knew were running out at the beginning of September. You anticipated the number of people applying for unemployment would drop. What do the numbers look like right now?
Well, it's really interesting. We all talked about this for a long time, Brian, and we knew that people were going to drop off, and we've tried to contact everyone through email and mail and just on our website and through forums like this to say that it's time to get reconnected to the economy. So we knew things were going to change. 2 weeks ago, from the last payment on the federal programs, we issued payments to 57,000 people. Last week, that number dropped to 9,200 people. I mean, that's staggering on its face. And just to put into context how busy we remain, though, because it's a transition time, another 33,000 people tried to get a payment and were given a message that their information wasn't on file. And that's because their claims had ended. And they not only did they tried 102,000 times.
So what does that mean to you when you know kind of where the shift in the numbers could go or should be going? When you see that drop in the attempts to apply, what does that resonate and mean to you?
I think people got used to the programs. They provided really important income support during a very difficult time, and they relied on those programs for themselves and their families to get by. And even though they had heard that they were coming to an end, I think they were thinking maybe it's not mine that's going to end, or maybe there's another payment left in the system. And I think people have some trust issues with what they hear online or on the, from conversations that we have with them. And that's a concern. Right now, we're trying to be as clear as we can with folks because we want to help them. And so we're pushing them all to our services at backtoworkri.com. We're hoping to get them reconnected to our economy.
So just to be clear, if someone, is in that large number that is no longer getting benefits, should they continue to keep applying?
No, they could apply for benefits again using the regular application on dlt.ri.gov. But like we've discussed before, they're not going to be eligible if they've been collecting for the last 17 months. They would have had to have gone back to work and earned at least $920 to even be eligible for a minimum payment, which is somewhere around $50 a week. They shouldn't keep requesting payments if they keep getting messages that say their Social Security number is not on file. That means they're no longer in the payment system.
Good to keep in mind there. The vaccine certainly continues to be a discussion for so many businesses. If someone refuses to get the vaccine and there's a mandate from their employer to have that, can they apply for unemployment?
So this issue is one we've talked about quite a bit, and really state law is going to govern how this works in Rhode Island. And most of the states in the country are doing it the same way. And that is that if an employer has a policy that's determined to be reasonable in nature and has been clearly communicated, then employees are obligated to follow that policy. And if they don't follow it, they would not be eligible for unemployment. And so we've determined that vaccine mandates are reasonable in nature, given what we're all dealing with and have been dealing with for so long. The issue is, have they been clearly communicated, and have people been given ample time to get vaccinated? And if those things are true, and they have been, then they would not be able to collect. We're going to look at every case as they come in, but generally that's how it will go.
And Director, I want to revisit some big topics that we've touched on over the last year. If we go back a year, perhaps even a year and a half at this point, if someone tried to call the DLT, they couldn't get through directly and speak to someone. Where does that stand today? If someone calls your office, do they have a chance of speaking to someone?
Well, we know people get through every single day, and the issue is the balance of the staff and what they work on. Putting everyone on the phones means that we're not able to get to other things, which keeps people calling us back. So I need to balance that every single day. Yes, you can get through. It is challenging. And like I said, 100,000 attempts by people that weren't eligible for payments last week. Those people are calling us as well. And so that's going to jam up our lines a little bit, but it's getting better. And with the new technology that we're putting into place, with the additional staff we added in the pandemic, we're going to start seeing much improved customer service for all of our customers at DLT in the coming months.
And with some of that new technology, I believe in the past you've referred to it as almost like a pizza tracking system that you might find with takeout, that someone could online follow their claim. How is the progress on that system?
We're making progress. Unfortunately, every time something changed in unemployment throughout the pandemic, it pushed us out a little bit because systems change, you need to make sure to carry all that information from one place to another. And so ultimately, I have to decide when we're ready to go forward with that. And I want to make sure that we're 100% certain that the new tool is going to provide enhanced services. And so the old system is stable, it's steady, it's secure, and it works. And we're going to keep using that. And we'll probably roll out the new system near the end of the year or early next year, depending on what our testing shows us and the feedback that we get from people that we ask to try it. It's going to be a good tool, but we're going to use it responsibly.
And I have no doubt we will continue talking between now and then. Matt Weldon, the director of the Rhode Island Department of Labor and Training. As always, thanks for joining us today at 4.
Thank you.
And looking ahead to tomorrow, we will be joined in studio by Shelley Peterson from the Resident Advisory Council. We'll be talking about Community Impact Fund grants. That's tomorrow at 4.